Hey, what's up, everybody? Hey, what's going on, guys? How you doing? Where are you? Somebody talk to me. I know two of you are waiting for me. Let's sit on down and relax. It's been a busy day today, folks. How's everybody doing? I'm sinking in here. No bueno. Who's on with me today? What up, Cole? I knew it would be you, pal. Everything's good, man. What's up, Rainey Parker? How you going? So, I actually am glad you guys are on because I'm going to ask you a question. These are totally chill little videos. I hope you don't mind. So I've got some news. We have changed the name of the, I guess, sanctuary that Kyle and I were going to do. What's up, Wicked Wildlife? Good, I'm glad you're on. Hey, listen up, man. I want your guys' opinions. You three get the good old opinion here. And so as you know, Kyle and I are going to do our own reptile sanctuary. Originally, Kyle wanted to call it the Jupiter Exotic Animal Sanctuary because down the road he wanted to have like big cats and all that stuff. And personally, to be perfectly honest with you, I was more comfortable focusing on reptiles because that's my wheelhouse. And as the executive director and the guy in charge, I just felt more comfortable starting in that way. You know what I mean? Like just keeping the focus on reptiles because that's what I want to do. So, and I never really liked the name Jupiter Exotic Wild Animal Sanctuary. It just sounded very vanilla. So I'm going to let you guys in on a secret. No one else knows this. It's not been made. I mean, it's official to us, but we have to do some paperwork and all that nonsense. But we're going to call it The Wreck. The Wreck. Are you ready? W-R-E-C-C. The Wreck. And that stands for, and this is a very lofty name, I think. We have to earn it, but we're going to call it the World Reptile Education and Conservation Center. So you are the first folks to hear that. That's what it's going to be called. The World Reptile Education and Conservation Center, otherwise known as The Wreck. What do you guys think? What do you think? What do you think? I think it'll be fun. Thank you, Rainey. All right. Rainey likes it, loves it, rather. I think that's a cool name. I think we can have fun with it, because we want to become a global institution. Thank you. I know, wreck, because it could be a total wreck. But I think when you say it, it's cool. The World Reptile Education and Conservation Center. A little bit mouthy, a little bit wordy, but I'm kind of into it. And then we can have fun with T-shirts, and we can have fun with maybe having a wrecked Jeep there. Yeah, man, exactly, Wicked Wildlife. That was my concern with Exotic Animal Sanctuary. I think it's very vanilla and generic and reminiscent of just like a dude with 30 cats in his backyard. It's still only a single syllable, so it flows well. Very cool. Yeah, The Wreck. I think it'll become a new... there's a tortoise walking out. See? I was like, what's that noise? Just an elongated tortoise going. So anyway, that was something that I wanted to run by you folks. My very small focus group that you are. Other than that, lots happening here. Next Sunday, or coming up this Sunday rather, in almost a week, I got the pond guys coming. And we were originally going to put a stream in the yard, a small stream so the leopards could drink out of it. However, I realized that in February, I'm going to be building that big recreation pond, that big swimming pond. And there's going to be so much construction and traveling back and forth that I was concerned that that stream would get in the way of the big boulders we have to move in and all this other stuff. So I called them and said, hey, guys, we may want to postpone the stream. To which they said, nah, man, we'll just build you something else. Is there anything else you want? Now, what am I supposed to do? Say no to a water feature? So I think we're going to build on to this. We're going to tap in, and we're going to make another stream go the other way into a smaller pond. So this whole area is going to have two ponds, but one water source, if that makes sense. Like the water will come out of here, and be distributed over 2 ponds, which I'm pretty excited about. So that's going to be Sunday. I'll film that. And then all kinds of stuff going on. There's, Kate has been just going to town on the inside of the house. We took the Kamp Kenan studios down and we moved it. I'll show you guys. You guys want to see? I mean, why not? I'll give you guys a little private tour of the new facility. Kids are home, so it's going to be loud. But we're kind of putting a wall up here, making this a smaller thing. Kate's getting herself a barn door, which is pretty cool. So she wanted a barn door. This is going to become Tom's new home away from home when he comes to spend the night. We're going to repaint. We're moving all this stuff is going to go into where the office was. There'll be a sofa. I don't know why I'm telling you this. I hope it's not boring. But it does have to do with the nerve center of Kamp Kenan, you know? Are you going to get different types of fish? Yeah, I don't think I'm going to do different fish in that one because it's still going to be within the same area as the African cichlids. And if it's using the same water source, I guarantee you eggs and or babies are going to travel through that filter system. So I don't want to mix the species. So in here, I've removed a lot of stuff, as you guys have seen. The Kamp Kenan studio will be on this wall, be a little bit smaller. We're going to get better microphones, a kind of a sit-down area. And I want this to kind of be a place. Oh, hey, man. It sucks that you're only here for a little bit there, Wicked Wildlife. Sorry you have to go back to work, man. It's so cool that you jumped in on this, buddy. I really, really want to meet you, and we got to go. One of the things Tom and I have discussed is getting out to where you're at and doing some fun stuff with you because you have a nice hat, and we got to stick together, us hat-wearing dudes. So anyway, have a good time at work, mate. I know it's early over there. Have a great day. But anyhow, folks, this will become kind of a studio. We're putting up soundproofing and stuff like that. Yeah, Cole, I still got the Doomerels. They're out in the snake room. I do have a little guy here that I'll show you. Let me show you what's going on here. It was fun, like a little cherry head hatching. Little guy. Look at him. He's out. He's beautiful. Look at this little cherry head. Isn't that awesome? This is a real pretty one. Real pretty cherry head. So he just hatched out, so I'm excited about that. So we'll just let him continue to do his thing. So that's awesome. And then, I moved the incubators. I did some work on the incubators, cleaned them up. I had to fix the old incubator because the fan broke, and I love that Amazon. You can get a lot on Amazon. Just plug in the serial number. Now I got a fan. We got this ready for the season. We're going to have a lot of sulcata eggs coming up. Here are the new rhino iguanas. There's one. They're very, very flighty. They got their little hangout. They can go back and forth between the cages. I wanted to keep them in here until I get a better situation set up outdoors for them. Let's see if I can focus on that. I can't, can I? And then the Lewis eyes are right up there. It's focusing on the wire instead of the lizards, sadly. You were getting a female Doomerels, Bo, and I'm thinking about getting a breeding pair for sale in Houston right now and have a breeding trio. Are they difficult? Nah, man, I really don't do much, mate. Time difference is a pain. Yeah, definitely Wicked Wildlife. All right, man. We'll figure it out, brother. Have a great day. I'm going to go back outside and sit. It's cooler outside, believe it or not. So anyhow, the Doomerels, no worries, Cole. Super easy in my opinion. I got to be honest. And I'm going to have to separate them this year because she's bred 2 years in a row. And this year I didn't get a lot of babies. So I probably should give her a year off of breeding, let her kind of relax. But I really don't do much. I just kind of leave them do their thing. And every once in a while I see babies. Once a year I just see babies in the enclosure. So that's pretty neat. Beyond that, I think you'll like them. They're a hardy snake. And they're pretty, you just don't see them often. So I'm pretty stoked on that. What else is going on, man? Actually, Wicked Wildlife, are you still there? Because I'm having one of your countrymen come over on Friday. Graham Webb, Dr. Graham Webb, head of the Crocodile Specialist Group, is going to be there, be it here, along with Rom Whittaker. So I'm pretty excited about that. Those are two men that I've always wanted to meet who are just at the top of their game. Yeah, cool, Cole. She's that's good. I'm glad she's chilling. I'm really stoked. You gotta let me know how it goes, and whatever little tricks you find out, let me know. We can share info. Really want to get the snakes dialed in, man. To be honest, I just hate that room so much, but I just haven't been able to get to building the other stuff with everything else that's going on. I don't know. That's no excuse, but it is. Um, Man, it's a giant tortoise turd under this chair. Look at this. I was like, what smells so bad? Look at the size of that poop. That's an elongated tortoise. I am housing the Dumerels. I house them right now in a vision, which is my least favorite method, bro. I was talking to Tom Crutchfield about Dumerels, and he's kept them outside here in Florida with a heated shelter. So I'm going to move them outside. He thinks that keeping them outside in Florida, at least, is really good. Now, they're a ground boa, so you don't really need a lot of things for them to climb on. Just something they can climb on if they want. But I kind of keep them, you want to keep them with places on the ground, maybe some kind of rock working or something they can climb over, plant to hide under, things like that, hollow log, etc. So it says we have 4 people on. Rainey, are you there still? Who else is there? Let me know who's hanging out, man. I enjoy yapping with you guys. Just show you the pond a little bit. The water's been incredibly clear. Yeah, hit me up, Rainey, if you have any questions. Unless you just like kind of listening to me answer other questions. But there's the, I wonder if oh, look, I can zoom in from this side. That's my blue moray. That's a dolphin cichlid. You know, they call them a humphead or something. From wherever. All right, you can chill in the background. No pressure. I'm just checking on you, Rainey. Let's look at the fish while I talk. Yeah, mate. Listen, Wicked Wildlife, do you hear what I asked you, bro? Do you know who Graham Webb is? Graham Webb is coming to my house, mate. So I'm pretty excited about that. Yeah, it gets too cold in Dallas. Definitely. Look at how clear this water is. This is insane. I'm really stoked on this. You got it, Rainey. What kind of sheep, Wicked? Oh, sheep. He's counting sheep. Is he going to sleep or is it daytime? I think it's becoming daytime over there. I think it's tomorrow, today, in Australia. So it's Tuesday in Australia. Oh boy, I'm just babbling. Let's look at the fish, shall we? I'm going to zoom in for you folks. Wait a minute. There we go. Oh, look at that. Look at the fish. They're so happy. How awesome. I love my pond. There's that blue moray. He's a jerk. He always chases everyone else. There's a 3 Oscar. I have to tell you, since I put the Oscar in, it's really helped the balance of the pond. Them and there he is, this blue. Do you see that pencil-y fish right over by the log? I'm zooming in. That fish right there. That's my, what do they call it? A Malawi eye biter. And that fish is rad. There's a male and a female, and he is a predatory cichlid. And he does a good job at snapping up some guppies and stuff. So, pretty soon. Where are you going, dude? Where are you going? Just a really cool fish. I love that fish. They're all doing their job, but there's a nice balance to the pond now, which I'm happy about. You know? Minimal work by me. And if you notice, there's no weeds because I got the tortoises in here. This is all that'll grow because these plants are non-edible. So the tortoises, they wind up eating it all. Pretty fun, pretty cool. These cool little stones were made to me by that girl, Shannon. If you watched my about the nice autistic girl that does the different paintings on the shells, she made me these rocks and I threw them in the pond. I think they're cool. So the pond and pond area have all these interesting little rocks and stuff. And let's see, any other animals floating about? I don't see anybody. Oh, moving sheep. All right, you work on a farm. Gotcha, mate. Right on. All right, well. Oh, Kate's inside. She's making dinner. I raked a lot of tortoise poop today. Not a very exciting Kamp Kenan day. Just working, really. Let's see. Would be awesome to meet Graham Webb. Always wanted to film his pythons. Onapelli pythons. Nice. Yeah, cool. Good. You know who he is. Yeah, I mean, if you love reptiles, you should know who Graham Webb is. So I'm excited. I'm going to meet that gentleman on Friday, and then Saturday is Croc Fest, and I'm hoping to have a video for you guys on Sunday about Croc Fest. So really happy about that, and it'll kind of be in the format of like a little bit of a magazine-style video. You know what I mean? Like think Entertainment Tonight, but for reptile lovers, as I show you what's going on at this year's Winter Croc Fest. Should be good. Plus, there's a lot of animals at this particular location, Gatorama, which is kind of a little bit of a roadside attraction, but they're good people, and I'm excited to see everyone over at Croc Fest this week. And then the next day, Sunday, we build a new pond. So a lot going on. Plus, Tom's coming down Tuesday, the 11th of December, and we will be doing a lot of videos the whole next week. Brian Barczyk will be down. So I'll be filming with Brian, some pond guy stuff. So overall, I think we're going to have a really good couple of weeks here. Very busy all the way till the new year. And then maybe get a week or two of downtime. And then we are into 2019. And I am in the heart and the middle of getting things ready for the sanctuary. I got to be honest, it's not a lot of fun doing all the paperwork and insurance. And that's not something I'm into, but I think it's such a cool opportunity, and I don't want to let myself down because it's going to be awesome. Cole, I do not know. That's a great question. I have no idea. I need to, there's still so much we need to have happen to get it going. We have to hire our buddy, Mike Haug. He's going to be our first hire because he's got a lot of great experience with Crocs. He's run places like that before. So he'll be working with me, and so I'm hoping to have him down at least by March. And you know, we got to build it out and fix things, and there's a lot of work to do at Kyle's place to make it a spot that we can have tours. You know, so that's important. That's what I got. All right. Anyone else? Anybody else want to talk? What do you think? Ask me a question. I was recently at Reptile Expo where I live, and I wanted to know what exactly is a morph. Is it like a subspecies or genetic traits? Well, the actual question, the actual answer would be closer to genetic traits. However, they're what we would call naturally occurring morphs. So morph is basically a color phase, a pattern that it can either be a naturally occurring morph. In other words, it happened in the wild, just through random genetic breeding. It could be the result of two subspecies getting together. It could be the result of a mutated genetics line that somehow was recessive and just showed up in one animal of the same species. Or, more commonly, we use morph for animals in captivity that are bred to each other for desirable colors and appearances. So ball pythons are an animal that have been widely bred to express different color variations. Guys have figured out that they have these kind of genetics in them, and if they breed certain animals to certain animals, they get desirable colors. So when someone says it's, oh, look at this morph, it's a genetic expression of certain desirable colors and traits that an animal may have. You can make something a scaleless morph, you know, like the animal doesn't really have scales, it has skin. It's basically genetic tampering on a very like crude scale, in that we're not going in with microscopes. Yeah, they're the same species. Exactly. Thank you, Cole. I hope I'm making sense. Hoping I am making sense, Rainey, because I am not a big fan of morphs in that it loses something of what I love about reptiles, in that I love that I love just habitat creation. I love the natural occurring species. I do appreciate certain morphs, but when the color or the outcome becomes more valuable than the actual animal, I'm not into it, because there can be a lot of problems where certain animals get trembles. I remember I used to have spider ball pythons, and they would get head shakes. So essentially what you're doing is you're breeding parents back to their offspring, and things that in mammals you really shouldn't do. In reptiles, you don't want to do that. They're a little bit more forgiving, but after a while you get animals that are just mutated. They would never survive in the wild. And so I question the motives of that. It's usually about economics. People want to make money. And it's less about animals and more about collection. And, ooh, look what I've got. And it's just, it's not what I'm into. But I do love that kind of stuff. Yeah, it is sad. It is sad. Lethal white syndrome in dogs and horses is tied to breeding for different colors as well. Yeah, I didn't know that, Cole. Thank you. Maybe I'll do an episode on that and talk to some experts about, that kind of thing. But if you think about it, guys, what we've done to the dog with short snouts and chihuahuas, and these are animals that never would exist in the wild, because nature would select the more powerful traits. Man selects traits that serve man. Nature selects traits that serve the organism. And basically, we know that bulldogs have a lot of nose issues, breathing issues. Chihuahuas are just nervous wrecks, because if I were a foot off the ground, I'd be terrified too. So it's just, there are some moral questions that need to be answered, and ethical questions that need to be answered. Should we keep doing this, I don't know. It's interesting. I even think of this in social situations sometimes, there's a social Darwinism. Not everyone gets to make it, I don't mean to sound rude. I mean, that's the cool thing about people, is we can take care of those less fortunate than us. But I'm one of those guys that believes if you have a working brain and a working body, you should work. You should put your energies towards making something of yourself. Now, if you're someone with a mental handicap, or you've been injured, or something like that, that's when we as a society can help each other out. And even help animals out, which is what I do. I choose to help animals. But it's just crazy. I always like the mutts, to be perfectly honest. I enjoy the dogs that are just dogs, They're always smarter, and they seem to be healthier, in my amateur opinion. There you go. Interesting. Cool question. We kind of got off on a tangent. I got that buddy of mine, Larry, and these are some of the questions that I want to do in more of a podcast format, where maybe on Thursdays, at least once a month, Larry comes in, or maybe some other, you're correct, Randy, definitely, as far as having a chance to survive. But I was thinking it might be interesting to answer these questions, to have these topics discussed that are about animals and about science with some friends, some people that I know, in a podcast format. And that's why I want to get the sound figured out, get certain things figured out this month. Tom is on it already, looking at different microphones, and then we can just sit and kind of have these discussions, and just do a long format. Maybe it's an hour, maybe it's an hour and a half. We just bullshit, and we'll do it live to YouTube, and there'll be comments, things like that. People will be able to watch it over. I know there's been a lot of issues with the sound, and that sucks, but we're working on that, guys, so be patient. Basically, these are the things that I'm interested in, and I would love to be able to share these conversations that I have with some really intelligent people. I think it would go into a really interesting place. Go from animals into science, and maybe we could tie it all back in. The Fine Brothers do something similar. It would be awesome if you could do it. Cool. I'll check out the Fine Brothers. But yeah, I mean, we have, I have access to all these tremendously intelligent people, and hopefully I can get some good stuff out of them. So that would be that. It's very cool, man. Um, Fine Brothers Experience channel on YouTube or FBE. Okay, I'll check it out, bro. Thank you, Cole. Yeah, man. So we're doing good. We're gonna wind this down here. I think the last time we tried to do one of these was with the folks at Tortoise Supply. I had to cut it short. I apologize. But today we seem to have made up for it. We talked about a lot. And just enjoying this warm weather. Thank goodness. Florida is warm. Just very excited about 2019, guys. I can't thank you enough. I know you guys, we kind of got ourselves our own private relationship here, but your support on Patreon is really huge. And, I wish more people would take advantage of this tier of Patreon because it's a really great opportunity for us to go back and forth. But that's fine. It's nice to talk with two of you folks. Even if Rainey just hang in the background, but when she does talk, she does ask great questions. So thank you, Rainey. And Cole, as always, man, you're always hanging in there, and we got to hang with Wicked Wildlife a little bit. So, Rainey, I don't know, is that a smile or I don't know what kind of face that is. I'm confused. I meant it as a compliment. I'm just busting your chops. When you speak, you have something to say, which is good. I just feel bad because I just do this, blah, 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 blah. And I don't know how entertaining that is for you. But yeah, so things are good. Things are really good. Thank goodness. I'm a little mellow. You get that a lot? What, did you hang in the background? You don't need to hang in the background. Now, what? Let's talk to Rainey a little bit. What's going on, Rainey? Are you really a quiet person? I've often, it's funny, when I was growing up, when I was younger, I was always an extrovert. Yeah, I'll show some more Doom Rolls, Call, for sure. But I was always an extrovert. Oh, okay, Rainey, yeah. It's funny, like, as a guy that is loud, and it's so funny, now we're getting into some fun stuff. So yesterday, someone posted a video of me doing a BMX trick from 1991. And I hadn't, obviously, there was no social media back then. It was very rare to film yourselves. I think my generation was the first to really do it in the skate BMX world. We were kind of the forebearers then. Yeah. My hair was crazy, right? Black on top, shaved around the sides. I was just experimenting, I was having a good time. But what's crazy is when you see yourself, as a 44-year-old man looking back at a 17-year-old, I was just like, oh my gosh, that's me. And in some ways I feel the same. But then when you look at yourself and you see just how much energy I had and blah, blah, like I'm right in people's face, spastic and just, it's amazing. It's just like, it's amazing. And I remember meeting people like you, Rainey, who were quiet. And I always thought, oh, they don't like me. They don't like me. They're being quiet. And then as I grew up, I realized sometimes I can be very forceful. And not everyone is used to that. And so I had to learn it's okay to enter a room and not be the loudest guy in it. It's okay to assess the situation. So I had to learn how to dial back a little bit so that I could connect with people. Do you understand? Even as an extrovert, I could push people away because they think, oh, he wants attention, or oh, here comes Kenan. Oh, he's just so loud. So I had to dial back a little bit. And maybe you need to dial up just a little bit. So, it's why we are on Earth, I believe. I believe we're on Earth to master ourselves, to learn how to be comfortable in our own skin and how to be able to connect with other people. And, that's interesting because for me, some of the people that I admire, kind of funny, like Clint Eastwood, the strong, silent type, demands respect just by his presence. And so it's just funny, even a guy like myself may aspire to be a little bit more like you, if that makes any sense. A little bit more reserved, a little bit more thought before I speak. So that's something that I think in my 40s, I think I'm trying to get to. So why I said that, Rainey, is to not really be self-conscious. It seemed as though you might have been a little bit, yeah, I get that a lot. don't necessarily be bothered by it. If it's something that you want to change, dial it up a little bit. You don't have to totally go crazy. But, you know, if you have something to say it, because we only get one ride, one go round on this ride. And you don't want to die keeping anything inside. You want to make sure that you lived, you spoke, and you made an impact. How's that? That's my little rant. I think we could end with that. I think that's a little advice. And we'll teach each other. So thanks, guys, for the support. And thank you for listening to me blabble on. Cole, good to hang with you again. We did 30 minutes. There you go. Little intimate discussion here, people. I'm going to enjoy the rest of the evening with the kids. Leo told me I'm not allowed to play with him until I take a shower. Yeah, sorry, Rainey. I tend to do that. It's not all. I have an eclectic and wide-ranging range of interests. And one of them is, how in the hell can I be better at being a human being? So yeah, and I don't even smoke pot. I don't even do any drugs. This shit just comes out of me. Ask these questions. Good seeing you, mate. I will wish Kate a Merry Christmas for sure, even though they don't know you. No sweat. Thanks, Cole. And thanks, Rainey, for joining up and helping me out. And I will see you guys really soon. I hope I didn't bore the tears off you. I'm going to go take a shower so I can play with Leo, throw him around, and rough him up a little bit, because that's a lot of fun. All right, guys. Thank you so much. I will see you next month or on the normal lives. See you guys.